Taurus.
Hello Taurus, we're looking at your chart here for April of 2015, and this month here it's going to be more of you finding your energies on the inside as your planets now are moving into that 12th house, which is your inner sanctuary. It's where you rebuild, recharge your energies. So it's all about listening to your inner self, because Mercury is going to be there as well as the Sun. And of course you got Uranus there, and you're going to have a visit by the end of the month here on the 18th with the new moon in this area. So that's where you want to place your new moon intentions. For those of you who write your abundance checks, this is the date to do so. And for those of you not knowing what your abundance check is, well, you might want to sign up for that newsletter, as there will be a video there showing you how to write that check for yourself and how you can manifest more money and abundance coming into your life. And we always want to do that on the new moon. Now, talking about the moons, let's start off there here for this month with you. We had a total lunar eclipse there on March 20th. No, I'm sorry, total solar eclipse for you on March 20th. But here in April, we're going to have a total lunar eclipse. This will take place there on April the 4th. And for you, Taurus, it's going to fall into your 6th house. This area has to do with your day-to-day routines and how you work and balance your interaction with co-workers, employees, and so forth. And and it's your health, of course, let's not forget that. So having the lunar eclipse here, you might just come to see that something will have completed itself, and those things will be eclipsed out of your life, and it will open doors for new beginnings. And that's what we always want to look at and focus on as far as what these eclipses are. Yes, we can focus on the ending, but we actually feel more empowered and strong as we look at new beginnings. That cannot take place unless we leave an old room to get into a new room, right? So staying on the top and positive of it, it normally takes up to a month and a day for that eclipse to really kind of show you what it has done for you and how it's brought about these new beginnings. So pay attention to this area in your life and how you can up it for better health, better diet, better day-to-day routines. And maybe if you've overworked and been stretching your schedule too much, maybe this eclipse can help you get back in tune to something that's more balanced, happy, and healthy. And when we talk about balance, well, this full moon will be in Libra, the sign of balance, right? So it should really work out for you in great ways here, Taurus. Now, we have Venus and Mars in your first house this month, and Venus is your ruler, and having it in the first house really allows you to come forward and radiate that beautiful Venusian energy that most of you Tauruses, you have it as a free gift because it is your ruler. And so therefore so many of you have beautiful features, beautiful energy, liking and loving the luxuries of life and so forth. And so for this month, and it only happens once every year, that you have this transit for approximately a month, to have it here in the first house of your personality. So it's really radiant, and beautifully enough, Mars is coming along to join that company here as it starts off the month 0 degrees in your sign. So Mars is your drive, your action, your ambition, your goals. So Mars is going to help you chase those very things that you desire. Venus is showing what she desires. She's ahead of Mars. So she's already been at work for this now a few weeks here at the end of March. And so she's been kind of like plowing the road, so to speak. And Mars is going to pick up that energy and ensure that Venus is going to be happy. So, but both of them also indicate love and relationship, Venus and Mars, right? So this could be a good relationship month for you where you're feeling more generous, more giving, more active. And so beautiful here for you starting off this spring. We have Jupiter in your 4th house still, so many of you Taurians are experiencing the joy of expanding this area of your life, your foundations, your real estate, property, both where and how you live, maybe even expanding that space or beautifying it, but bringing more of that abundance of what Jupiter represents into the home and family foundation. We have Saturn in your 8th house, so you know some of you have already started working on joint resources. Those of you born later in the sign of Taurus will probably not be feeling this quite yet, but at least those born in the first week of your sign will be feeling how this is affecting you. Setting up maybe joint bank accounts or separate bank accounts with a mutual joint one, however that is. Maybe it has to do with setting up wills and so forth as well. You'll see how this is going to become more increasingly important for you as Saturn works through this area over the next 2.5 years. There is change as far as you reaching for higher knowledge. This is Pluto transforming this sense of consciousness, of becoming more of who you are and how you become more of who you are. So some of you are deepening into new studies or researching maybe areas that you hadn't done years prior. And it's a very exciting cycle to explore the depths and the roots of your very foundation. That is Pluto in your 9th house. Now, going back just to this 12th house, we want to make sure that you rest up. You know, it's a time, like I said, for your inner sanctuary to come to the forefront, meaning it's time to pull back, recharge, because why? Here as you come into next month, which is your birth month, you're going to be ready to go and have your wings spread and fly. And so right now, April is for you to look back over what you have done this whole entire last year. And get that in order to really look at what it has done for you, to download it and to feel good about it and tie up whatever loose ends you can. Karmically too, I feel that this is the time to balance out those things so that you can be ready for a whole new year cycle next month when we're going to talk about your birth chart next month. As far as doing the calendars, I had double cited comments. Some people were really happy for the new format. Some of you were happier with the old format, and I want both of you to be happy, so I'm going to include them back in here so that you have it, and then I will make that monthly calendar for those of you who enjoy that as an easy, quick go-through. All right, so starting off here, April 2nd, we have Mercury trining Mars, and we have the Sun trining Jupiter on the same day. So for you, what that means is Mercury is your thoughts, your linear communication, whoever you're going to be talking to or having deeper communication with on the 2nd. I feel you're going to come across strong and in a way where you're going to be able to give good solid roots to what you're hoping to achieve. The Sun, which is you, is having that support of Jupiter, which is wanting to open up and expand and not just be jovial, but to be abundant with you. And this is coming from your 12th house, and to Saturn there in the 8th house, and also to Jupiter here in your 4th house. So it's more what you have been processing, I feel, here in your thoughts now, that is going to combine your home, your financial security with a partner, with those things that spirit desires, which is your inner self, your inner need for security. So you will have something here now that's really going to mark itself April 2nd. That's great. Then we have here on the 4th, we have that total lunar eclipse that we talked about in your 6th house. Look at diets, health, food, workout, you know, toning your body, and how you interact with people around you on a day-to-day basis. This is where this eclipse is going to take place. We have the 5th and 6th, busy days. On the 5th, we have the Sun, which is you, and Pluto. They're squaring up. So there might be not necessarily tension, which it could be, Taurus, but I like to see, instead of saying this is a conflict or this is a challenge, I like to say this is a dynamic opportunity to actually break through to what Pluto is trying to transform here. And it has to do with what you feel is right, what is fair, what is true, because that Pluto's up in the house, the 9th house, for truth and honesty and righteousness. And so you're trying to make a point here on this day to become clear upon what it is your objectives are, and you'll already next day on the 6th get some kind of validation upon what that communication was all about. This is when Mercury and Jupiter are going to be trining. Mercury, communication, Jupiter for righteousness and truthfulness and also abundance. So you're going to feel how this is really coming back at you like a boomerang, which is really good. Maybe what you feared to express, you'll find out there was nothing to fear, because there's like this unexpected gift being bestowed upon you on the 6th. Okay, that's the Sun and Uranus are going to conjunct, and so you may not have seen that coming, but I feel it could be a direct action or a reaction rather to what came up there on the 5th. Even include what happened on the 2nd, okay? Because you started something there, and then here you go. You will have some direct insight. On the 8th, this is good news. We got Jupiter, our beloved planet of joy, happiness, and abundance, gratefulness, all those good things in life. Going direct on the 8th. This is in your 4th house for home and family. So it's been sleeping now for the last 4 to 5 months, but you'll see how it's going to start picking up, moving forward, and expanding this area. We always love when Jupiter is direct, but she's not too bad when she's retrograde either. On the 11th, Taurus, Venus, your ruler, is moving out of your sign. Then it's done there in the 1st house, where you've been using a lot of your energy and your personality to get up and out. Now it's going to be moving into your 2nd house, money and income. That's something that you are very good about. That is the area that you rule in your chart. The 2nd house is a Taurian house. So when Venus comes there, it's like Venus is coming home. You have a month every year which dynamically really shines the light upon this area. So this would be for you. After the 11th, you will be looking at your money and income, maybe tweaking numbers and seeing how you, maybe brainstorming how you can attract more money. So that should be good. And then we have Mars here in a nice alignment with Neptune on the 12th. Mars is men in your life. It's also your own physical drive and energy, your goals and ambitions. Now, it being there with Neptune, and Neptune up in your 11th house for hopes and dreams, well, put those two together and you will see maybe that there is a male in your life that's going to open up a door that has to do with your hopes and dreams. Or it could also be you now starting to reach for those things. Somehow on some level, for some of you at least, I feel also it involves groups of people that you might be mingling with or affiliating with or starting off new connections along with, or some organizations as well. But Mars will also be powering up coming into that money house a little bit later in the month We'll talk about that in a minute. But on the 17th, say 16th first, we have Pluto, which is going to go retrograde. It will retrograde here in this area of the 9th house for travel, long distance travel, foreign people and places, education, publishing, those things that rule the 9th house. It will slow down, and at least for a good 4 to 5 months. So this gives you ample time to think back over what you've been trying to push forward with in this area, to see what can be tweaked and whatnot. So it's going to give you a little bit of a breather, I feel. On the 17th, you're going to have to make a decision. This decision for you has to do with family, a family member. Mars is involved here. It's a Mars square Jupiter. So it could be maybe a journey, a travel, or a family member traveling. In that case, it could be a long distance out of country, because that's Jupiter, rules out of country, foreign people and places, you know. So there might be some news here on this day that will come to your attention, and where you might need to make a decision on it. On the 18th, we have the new moon. That's time to put down your attentions, and for you, as we said, this is the 12th house, your subconsciousness, your dreams, your hopes, your spirituality, the time that you have off, the me time. So make sure that your intentions is all focused upon making sure that each month that you will have some more me time. This is what this month is focusing on for you, that you can now carry forward. Then we have on the 19th, maybe a little bit of a disappointment on some level, or where some hopes or dreams or expectations might not be exactly what you had hoped for. This is Venus and Neptune squaring off on each other. I don't feel it's going to be a big to-do thing. It's just that, tell yourself, even this shall pass, okay? It's not going to be hanging around for a long time. The transit is fairly fast moving, so it's just, don't have too many eggs in one basket for this day particularly. Now the 20th and thereafter, Mars will be changing signs from your sign Taurus and into that of Gemini, and so it's going to be picking up speed here, having to do with your day-to-day, month-to-month income source. Mars is going to be very direct here in wanting to achieve these goals, and it's only in this area here, Taurus, once every other year. It takes 2 years for that Mars to go around. So this would be the time for you to brainstorm, think and tweak and negotiate, move things around a little bit, so that you can ensure that that income that's coming to you might do you wondrous things in the next 2 years to come. So it's a big month for you here after the 20th, and it will be in May, which we're going to talk more about next month. But yeah, make sure that you are aware. It's when we are aware that we can influence things. Then we have on the 21st, Mars and Pluto. So whatever now that Mars is doing in your sign, and coming up on this beautiful trine to Pluto, this is when I like to say you can move boulders uphill, up the mountain. You have extra energy, courage, stamina. There's no stopping you when you first make a decision, because Mars is that physical energy. I mean, that's the day you can go out and dig holes in the yard and get it all done in one session. Because Pluto will go deep, it will hold you, focus you, give you the intensity to complete whatever task you have at hand. Great day for accomplishing things on the 21st. The 22nd too, I like to add in that, because Mercury, Mars being that physical drive, well, Mercury is your intellectual mind and how you think. This is going to be supporting that Mars, as it is also trine on Pluto, so you can negotiate really well and have a home run here on this day, as Mercury now is securing Pluto, transforming what it is you want, because it's also conjuncting that Mars. So you have a lot of energy here to work with. And maybe already on the 26th, you might get a surprise as Venus, your ruler, will be sextiling here Uranus, the planet of the unexpected, which can bring nice surprises as long as Uranus is well aspected. All right, and I will see you next month. Bye now, Taurus.